technology needs more work.
Back to the Heroes Global Championship, getting ready for game number 3 between Team Liquid and Team Good Guys. Liquid seems to have found their swagger for today.
Yep, Liquid so far looking really good. The 2-0 lead that they currently hold, and the last game, of course, had some incredible team fights as well.
Speaking of swagger, Caldor has found a friend. Gilly made sure to come in and let him know that he needs to make amends to Brightwing.
Yeah. I was a bad boy. I called Brightwing useless. And apparently, to get my coffee privileges back for Moko Fefe, I need to wear Brightwing.
Well, looks good on you. It's nice with a little purple. I'm enjoying it.
Thank you very much.
Brightwing hopefully will come into game number 3. Maybe,
Hopefully
maybe not, as we set up for the next match here. Team Liquid is ahead, 2-0. The battleground is going to be Tuma, Spider Queen. Ooh, that actually scares me a little bit. The last time we saw Team Liquid on this map, they were looking pretty stupendous. Now, the only time they've lost in the last couple of weeks has been due to the Falling Dragon that happened from Tricky Esports, but before that, they were looking dominant.
I really feel at this point you need to start to explain what Falling Dragon means. We've seen it once.
No,
and I've
made it.
I know we've referenced it, and it's a fantastic expression. I love it. No sarcasm this time.
Here's how you make a thing, though. You say stuff like that. People go, what is that? And then people start talking about it, and then it becomes a trend. It gets in their mind. If they know what it is, people don't talk about it.
That's how it works?
Mm-hmm, that's how it works.
All right, figure it out yourself.
Falling Dragon is Cindergosa into the Falling Sword from Johanna.
What did you do? You just screwed it up. You just told me not to talk about it.
See how that worked? I talked with it. He brought it up that we should. I said, no, we shouldn't. Now you guys are all piqued in interest, and then I deliver the final blow. That's teamwork right there. Let's move into this map here. Oh my god, I threw the Brightwing. Anywho, as we get ready for Tuma the Spider Queen, double turn-ins are an issue. Team Good Guys will need to control that.
That guy.
He just threw something at me. I'm going to the board of directors.
Just for the record, Gilly, before you actually diss me, he threw it on the ground. I just passed the love on to the next guy.
I just had to get it off me, man. It felt icky. I can see why you don't like that. It's aggressive.
No, she hates both of us.
Yeah, no, I can't. I'm not going to sleep tonight.
Tim, well done.
Ah, man, you're up. Just ruining everything as we get ready.
All right, guys. The 2-0 for Team Liquid. Right now, they are looking strong, and they have actually shown great coordination on the last 2 maps. But we have also seen that on Tomb of the Spider Queen in particular, when they were pushed out of their comfort zone, they looked a little bit shaky at that point. But today, at least, we said from the start they need to make a statement here against the Good Guys. And so far, they've done exactly that. They've shown great team fighting, and they have actually shown a lot more coordination than we've seen in the recent past. It's all about the 2 turn-ins here, but we also have to consider, again, what kind of an impact Leoric can have here. So far, Leoric in today's games has been played 5 times, and he has an 80% win ratio right now with 4 wins and 1 loss. And in that 1 loss, he never really made it into these team fights where he shines later on in the game. Traditionally on Tomb of the Spider Queen, he's already strong. The big question now is, of course, is he going to be picked by the 2 teams here? Are we going to see bans? Both of them already played with him. He has been shown in every single one of these 3 games so far. How is Team Liquid going to play it here? They have the chance to make this a 3-0. Can they do it? That's the question.
I think my answer to should we see Leoric in this game is why not? I have yet to see an impressive weakness from him. The only time that it's felt like he's lost is if they fell behind pretty aggressively, 2 to 3 levels. If you're able to at least hang out with your opponent towards that level that you've been mentioning, he looks pretty darn dominant. Team Liquid still thinking about this ban. Do they want to give it up? Will Team Good Guys go for that Leo? Lots of things for them to ask.
That's the question that we have. I mean, we asked the question on Friday. How much of a priority is the hero going to have throughout the weekend? How fast are teams going to incorporate him into their setups? Liquid bans out Rega, and Rega has been not only a very high pick for a lot of other teams, but even more so for the Good Guys on this battleground. They really like to prioritize Rega as an early pick. Now, of course, they have still options with Uther, potential ETC play. I'm not quite sure if they would really drop something like the Auric this early on already, but looking at tanks and also potential double supports, that's something that they could do. There's ETC already taken here for them. How is Liquid going to react now?
Uther Genji is up. Not really one that you go pretty often on this battleground, but you can make a case for it. This map is more wave clear based. We have a lot of KT play earlier from Team Liquid on this battleground, so with that in mind, if they want that Kel'Thas, typically you don't really mix them with the Genji as much.
You can also take Uther away think about a double support later on, then you make sure that ETC and Divine Shield is not going to be a problem. Also, a potential Genji pick on the other side is becoming a lot less likely. And then with Uther, you take Vala, for example, could have taken Leoric here, but that's exactly what they do. So you take Uther away, you don't go for the Uther-Genji synergy, but you try to make sure that, first of all, there's no Uther and ETC on the other side, and you make Genji as a pick way less attractive for the opponent's team.
And the ban on the very top here, too, also kind of builds into that. Without Rhaegar being taken away, there's no support right now that really fits perfectly with the Genji. You have the deflect and ancestral healing with Rhaegar at least, and Uther you have the Divine Shield. Every other one feels a little bit wonky to run with. You're chasing the Genji, trying to help him out. So great play here by Team Liquid. So no Genji coming in from Team Good Guys. We've probably dodged it for the most part.
Exactly. So that's one thing to consider for your own drafts as well. If you have Genji, you normally want Uther just because that it's such an enabler. Having Uther and allowing Genji with Dragonblade to go so far into the backline without having to be afraid of a stun is just absolutely fantastic. For now, the good guys go into Oriel. So Lunara might be a pick for them that they are looking towards. We have seen a lot of Cassia play.
Gul'dan too.
Good guys as well. Gul'dan is another good option, and that's actually the one they go for. It's a more traditional pick with Oriel. That was the first iteration of that heavy combo and synergy with Oriel. And now we are in the second bans. This is really where I could see a ban on Leoric, mostly from the good guys. I don't think that Liquid would ban him. They have already shown that with Uther. You don't really play a Vala normally with a solo support. If you play a Vala as a with a solo support, you have someone else that at least gives you some relief. Either a pseudo support, like for example Medivh, who has at least a shield for protection, or at least an ETC who can have proc rock available and also is probably the best peel hero for Vala that can give you the space. So Liquid has already indicated that they are very likely heading into a second support, playing Vala probably as a solo damage, and then a main tank and also an offlaner. And that offlaner could be Leoric for them.
Other possible bans that could come in, Sonya too, if they want to move into Leo themselves. Sonya's been popping up a lot more to handle that Leo and has looked pretty good in the majority of our games. I believe the Sonya, for the most part, has won those lanes. It's going to be a Tronda ban from Team Liquid, keeping her out.
Yeah. So Liquid already thinking, hey, they have an Oriel, they're most likely going to play double support here. And they are just going through the list of what's still available for the potential double support. And if you have an ETC on the other side, then you're probably worried about that stun into stun lock. And as expected, Leo being banned out by the good guys. Liquid wanted him. Good guy said, no, it's not going to happen. You can't go into Leo again. The win ratio of him today is pretty sick. Actually, the only team that has so far lost today with Leoric were the good guys.
Third and fourth pick coming in for Team Liquid. Thinking about tanks that Blumby plays. It's one of the battlegrounds that I will always advocate for a Diablo on. Diablo, so strong around those turn-ins. You get the regen globes easily. With your double support, you can just keep an eye on the Vala, and as long as your bottom lane does well by itself, you're in a great spot. But we're going to get Chromie and Malthael instead. Yeah,
Chromie, of course, pretty fantastic here too. And that also means that we do not have the double support in this setup for them.
Support, yeah.
So they're going to play Vala. Vala has to play a lot more carefully here than she usually does. So that's one of the things that we have to be watching out for a bit. Also, that could lead us into another hero that has decent peel. Maybe we're going to even see a Johanna, for example.
Yeah.
Might be another good hero on their end. Good guys, of course, still need a solo laner. You mentioned Sonya earlier. I think she would be great here. Malthael has already been taken by Team Liquid. We have Leoric banned out. There's still the Haka available, but a Sonya, as we've seen, that's something that Raid Boss can, for example, play for them. Ooh, Morales and Greymane. So yeah, probably going to have probably have two heroes at the bot lane, going for that healer plus damage dealer setup, since they don't have a dedicated solo laner.
Possibly with that Morales and Greymane. Oriel and Gul'dan will be together. In tandem, they are great. ETC can, of course, also keep them under control. And what I like about this Morales, too, is we saw Bakery and JPL pull off the ETC and the Morales. ETC does not die if you can't dive onto that Morales at all. He controls every single fight, can tank the damage, and continues to keep people at bay. Might not be as effective here with the Chromie being able to poke on the side, but it really allows for you to bully your way into fights. And I think Team Good Guys, when they're able to bully their way into fights, they look much better and stronger. So good pickup.
Yeah, I'm really curious about this game right now. Since there's the Johanna, as we said earlier, it would be a good pick for them. But Chromie can fire away, Vala can try and get into that backline. They all need to be careful of Greymane. But a good blind alone can really mitigate a lot of the damage that we see on the side of the good guys. So It's going to be an interesting match for sure. I feel like a lot is going to hinge on Chromie again.
Getting a couple picks in the early game, a couple of turn-ins is great for Team Liquid. If the Storm can be weathered from Tomb of the Spider Queen for Team Good Guys, they might be all right heading into this mid game. It's all about that Chromie factor in the early game and see how that really pops in with the double support being available for them.
Yeah, and also with Malthael, of course, late game can again be quite scary for you. So another thing to definitely consider here once that he goes in, because you have that Divine Shield, and there's a lot of combos with Divine Shield, Genji, etc. But a Malthael that can just do whatever he wants for a couple of seconds is going to be pretty happy about that too. So a Divine Shield on him can definitely enable him to do some nasty things to your opponent's backline.
Malthael looking to destroy the Good Guys here. Will he be able to do it with the Chromie trying to carry them to the early game? Or will we have that gold Dan with the Ariel coming in with the heals constantly and the Greymane Morales being just enough of a bully for Good Guys to get their first victory in this series? I'm ready to fight out, man. As soon as these players are ready to go, we're going to move into Time of Spider Queen. And I also want to see Team Liquid make it through the first couple of turn-ins here. Every time they've been shut down pretty hard in that mid game. Let's go ahead and hop into it. Team of Spider Queen, game number 3. Team looking for a 3-0. And Team Good Guys looking for a win.
The game is on as we see Liquid going up against the Good Guys for the 3rd time in the series. Kronos on Oriel, BKB on ETC. We have Xay on Gul'dan this time. Antihero on Greymane in the double support with Raid Boss on Morales.
On the right side, in the red, Team Liquid. Hasselhoff's on Vala, Nurok playing Chromie. Lumby will be your Johanna player, Splendor playing Uther, and Darkmok on Malthael.
Darkmok on Malthael, and yeah, Hasselhoff's on Vala this time, so we're gonna see him with a bit of a multi-shot hybrid build, most likely, since they're trying to get some extra wave clear in. Malthael is gonna play a huge role here later on as well. And already noteworthy that for Greymane, we have no cocktail build, but instead, on level 1, we are seeing him straight going into Wolfheart.
Going to have a lot of quests to watch in this game here, as we have Corruption being picked up. Lieutenant Morales picking up her new quest at level 1, which is going to be clear with an exclamation mark. Also having Progrock, and then Chromie with her quest, and then Johanna with the Regen Master, and then Uther, of course, with his Wave of Light talent. The pickup to grab a decent amount of damages or heals on his teammates here 60 times to make sure to get rewarded with the duration of devotion by 0.5 seconds being increased.
Yeah, Darkmok, by the way, will look kind of low as Antihero commits, but that nearly resulted in Greymane dying. The only thing that was missing there was a quick stun from Splendor, but he never really got into range to make that play.
Already the pokes happening as those plays are being looked for. Gonna watch these grenades constantly coming out from the Morales. Can be pretty damaging, actually, if you build into it well enough. I'm going to watch Raid Boss and see what exactly he is building with Morales, because I actually haven't seen too much of those played. A big change coming out a couple weeks ago, and all I've heard is grenade build is the way to go.
Yeah, I've seen actually mostly not grenade build being played, but again, in scrims that teams had this week, they of course experimented also a lot, trying to find out what exactly they want to do with it. There's the stun that I was asking for a bit earlier, but this time Raid Boss is a bit closer, and Kronos is moving in too, which allows for the burst heal to follow up, so Antihero is still safe. And in team fights, I can already see this to be an absolute pain if you are dealing with Morales and Oriel.
She always has that moment of, okay, can I get this kill? Can I get the kill? Nope, it's not happening. Please run away. And then you get turned around on completely from the heals coming out. Morales is quite the chore to deal with.
I mean, since it seems that they can only get heroes to half health in most of these cases, it makes a very good argument for last rights to be taken by Malthael, of course.
Let's do it. I'm down.
Now, I feel like right now, you Tormented Souls, you can actually do quite a lot. But I have to admit that I'm still waiting for a team to pick to make a good composition happen, where with Last Rites you can just snipe kills from the early game on and try to stack the cooldown reduction a little bit. And even though it takes long, try to work around that. So far, we haven't really seen that on a high-level play. At this point, I kind of doubt it's ever going to happen, but I would love for that to actually be a thing, since I can just see that snowball in the late game. But of course, you have to work quite heavily for that, so...
Yeah, we've only seen it in Korea with Tempest running it against a Genji. Did work out for them. And we also, I think, saw Tempest Storm do it once in North America. But yeah, I would love to see a little bit more of that being played too. Last Rite just being such an interesting heroic. Just imagine if you actually do get those quests finished up and you have it popping out consistently.
Yeah, it's always that what if.
Yeah.
But it's just like, for snipes and kill confirmations, it's just pretty cool. But I mean, Tormented Souls is insane. It's just such a great heroic ability, so that's one of the big reasons why Last Rite is actually not being picked a lot. In the meantime, Morales is just continuing with the grenade build. So as we said, on level 1, it's all about clear, getting the quest talent in, blast, shield on number on talent number 2, level 4. It's the next one coming in. And we see, besides that, of course, the multi-shot hybrid build. But interestingly enough, we still have Greymid at least speccing into some of his cocktail talents, only going for Wolf on level 1.
Looking at Chromie, killing it in the quest right now. 14 Sandblast already hit, but the Time Walker's Pursuit is where she's killing it mostly. She's gotten 12 of the Regen Globes needed of the 15 already. So moving pretty quickly as she continues to run around with her Johanna and grab those Regen Globes. Should be able to get that nice extra damage soon. Following up some Dragon's Eye, so it seems like the Chromie build is still standard from what we saw in the past.
Yeah, there's a few talents later on where we might see adjustments from Nurok in particular, but for now, in the early levels, it's definitely pretty much the standard. He's getting good stacks together so far as well. It's, of course, a pretty cool map for the stacking, especially since you have easy targets whenever an opponent is attempting to turn in. Chromie currently sitting at 14 stacks, but that's going to increase heavily then later. There's another one being hit right away, so on 15 right now. And Nurok making sure that he keeps himself a bit out of range. Connects again, and that's, of course, a double stack right there. Already hitting the 17 here, just keeping those alive and completing also level 1 quest and another full volley. 18 stacks for Nurok.
Nurok trying to gear up for another one. Misses out on that. 7 hitting for Team Good Guys. Boom. A combo coming out from Nurok. Team Liquid has done a great job of going for turn-ins, and they have the Web Weaver now as the bottom side gets dropped off by Johanna. And Team Liquid starts the trend of the first turn-in. Team Good Guys need to defend and then worry about the second one.
Yeah, you just can imagine how down the raid boss is just like sitting there with the heating like la 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 la, not doing anything, just running around behind Greymane, and Liquid is completely frustrated.
Have you played Morales? Like, Morales actually stresses me out when I play that character. Everyone is running away from you when you're trying to heal. Yeah, everyone.
But that's Hero League. We're in a coordinated HGC game. That's a little bit different. They know that they need to be in range. True. But in Hero League, you are right. You're always trying to save someone, and they always run away from you. And it's like, hello, I'm here.
I want to help you,
Come
please.
to me. Oh, but this is a bit different for sure. I feel like in that, if you look at how Raid Boss positions himself the entire time, it's the most chill thing ever. He just stands there and heals, and he's not doing anything.
He's watching Netflix on the side.
Yeah, exactly. He goes for the grenade build and doesn't throw a single one out the entire game. It's like, what do you mean? I'm healing, aren't I?
This episode's really good. All right, Team Liquid pushing on the top side. Blumby going for Zay, doing a pretty good job at the end of that condemn, but buying space for his teammates to work on this fort, and it looks like they may be able to get them. Greymane and ETC are coming in for a rotation to force a fight, and that will make Team Good Guys be in a good spot to go for a fight. Team Liquid wants to disengage.
Yeah, they want to disengage here, and slowing Sands actually really helped to just slow everything down from that flank. It was a really amazing positioning here from Nurok, making sure that flanks would be so much more difficult for the Good Guys to execute. And by now we have 27 stacks already on Chromie, still firing away here around the turn-in points. Decent value from Liquid. In experience, they haven't really taken a lead yet, but they have at least the top fort extremely low. But of course, ideally with the first turn-in, we're trying to at least get a lead in experience. And the Good Guys have done a pretty fantastic job shutting that down.
Team Good Guys struggling to get their own turn-in right now as they're being split between the Chromie and the slowing Sands on the top side. Blumby doing his best to delay, while Mouthy on the bottom side delaying the Greymane. So Team Good Guys splitting Team Liquid, not quite panning out as well as they would like. With them having 81 gems, they would love to drop them off soon before 10 hits.
Yeah, and especially before Team Liquid has enough gems to get another turn in themselves. That's also a concern, of course, here. So that's what Liquid is at this point attempting to do. Try and see if they can maybe sneak in a turn in. Level 10s are going to be there soon. The problem really for the Good Guys is the amount of interrupts that we see for Team Liquid. Like, not only the flashlight, dropping the quick blind with Johanna, but also multi-shot, Chromie sandblasts, the wave of light. There are so many interrupts available to them. That's going to be really rough for the Good Guys to complete it without going for a big team fight.
Team Good Guys did hit 10 first, but Team Liquid soon followed, hitting 10 themselves. And now we have the power of Divine Shield into Tormented Souls. Mouthy are going to be looking for those big fights that group up on their opponents. And again, being able to delay that healing on the opponents here for the Team Good Guys could be great with that 7 talent.
Yeah, down here, anti-hero. He wants to turn in, and he is not just getting it yet, but he's trying. He has the Cursed Bullet as well. Can throw that out. BKB eating some damage. Cursed Bullet thrown out too, hitting Blumby. 4 gems turned in for Liquid, 11 for their opponent, 94 gems being held right now by TGG. But again, we have Liquid pushing forward slowly with Johanna.
How does Team Good Guys break this? With the time trap going down, Johanna in the front line, slowing Sands, they have to get a flank on their opponent or at least surprise them, but Team Liquid has yet to give them the chance.
And Liquid has turned in again, up at the top, 11 gems now. So it's not really a lot. Ideally, they need Blumby to get into a position to get rid of his. But the turn-in is, as you said, extremely difficult for the Good Guys with all the interrupts. And let's not forget, the interrupt game is actually in favor of Liquid because this allows Chromie to get more and more hits on her Sandblast.
Building up that quest, Greymane wants to drop off for Team Good Guys. He has 44 gems currently sitting on top of him. Finally, he starts the channel, but Splendor scouts him out. Will have a wave of light to delay in a second here. No! He actually didn't have it available, and the turn-in goes over to Team Good Guys.
Yeah.
Where did that wave of light go? Did I miss it?
I mean, either it was still on cooldown, which I don't believe it was, or they just accepted it and said, okay, let's face it now.
They find Anti. They're going for a fight, straight being utilized. Anti's able to get out with Raid Boss, sitting casually on the side, still watching that episode, and gives him a heal or two.
Nice move here. It was a nice power slide, but at the same time, we also have that horror fight not properly hitting the way that they wanted to. So a bit of asymmetry on the side of the Good Guys. Two big moves there, and it doesn't result in a kill, but BKB is still looking for that potential mosh pit. So far, Liquid's doing a great job defending, and they are about to burst that first Web Weaver down fast.
Pushing them out here. Web Weaver cleaned up. They need to get their attention on the middle and top lane. Team Good Guys can use this opportunity to brush on the bottom side. That fort is low on ammo, so Greymane will stay there with the gold and clear out the wave and try to get that fort. Meanwhile, Team Liquid working on middle.
Yeah, Team Liquid trying to, of course, burst these down as fast as they can. Malfiel has taken the top, but as you said, bot lane, that's where Greymane is positioned, and he is getting that value. He will grab the fort, so he takes it down, but that's the one thing that the Good Guys got. It's enough experience to actually lead now, and they have nearly level 13 grab, so that extra talent is going to help them. 0 kills, by the way, in this game. Not a single kill that we've seen thus far.
Team Liquid behind, but still holding on. They have 71 gems themselves. Team Good Guys have 82 and are setting up for another turn-in. Anti dropping off first, while ETC doing his best to control that front line.
Once again, Chromie poke the entire time. And Anti-Hero has 36 gems still. 36 also on BKB. Both of them would love to get that turn-in. The time trap actually allowing Nurok to sneak past here. Hazops, my bad, to sneak past and get the interrupt. And Johanna is now attempting to turn in up at the top. But without an interrupt down here, the Red Web Weavers are first. BKB could not complete his. It was close, but it's in favor of Team Liquid.
Close, but no cigar, just like Tychus. 37 quest stacks set up here for Chromie already, looking pretty good as Team Liquid will push across the map and work on level 13.
If anyone deserves a cigar, it's Tychus.
I don't disagree with you, man. Especially after what happened in Wings of Liberty.
Oh, yeah.
No spoilers. All right, push continues. 13 hitting. Team Liquid playing safe until then. Team Good Guys taking the opportunity. Step forward, clear as much as they can. But with the top Web Weaver pushing in with Malfiel, that should be a fort. But can Team Liquid get any more?
Yeah, hit after hit from Chromie now being also locked in. Currently at 40 stacks, so connecting with half. 11 minutes in. Chris was a bit faster. But still, Nurok is doing a decent job here. Vala now at the bot lane is getting some value, and so does the Web Weaver up at the top. Both of the teams on level 13 talents. The top lane fort is falling, and down here Team Liquid is once again trying to make sure that they have to destroy another structure. 0 kills in this 11-minute and 40-second game so far. Nobody has taken down anyone just yet. Blumby is a bit low. BKB still waiting for that perfect mosh pit, but also he needs to be careful because he has 40 gems.
And he might fall here. Aegis comes out, but Darkmok able to go in for some damage. Strafe being used too. BKB does survive, and Raid Boss will top them off. It's very hard for Team Liquid to get the kills they're looking for, but at least they open the map up a little bit, get a fort themselves, have the other fort here low on health, while the Web Weaver in the top still pushes in. It should get cleared up soon, so it should just be a keep wall that takes damage.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of experience lost up at the top if the Good Guys are not going to claim that. And in the meantime, we have the battle just starting up once again. Guess what? It's all about the turn-in. And we have enough gems for Team Liquid. They do hold the numbers. They have to sneak everyone up to the top, but they already turn in with Uther at least. So we're having 14 Johanna as well. 14 gems turn in. They can now start a bit of a rotation game where they keep everyone else just at the bot lane for the interrupt, and they do well. BKB can't turn in, and again, we have Team Liquid aiming for their second turn. The problem is that Nurok holds 15, and they need to get rid of those as well.
They do have the poke with the Volley if she can come down. Hasselhoff does so. Blumby will be in the front with the flashlight here. Can Nurok sneak to the top to go and go for the turn-in? He has to be careful, though. They got to keep an eye out for Greymane. Greymane can easily solo that Chromie if she's by herself. Yeah,
and Greymane has actually moved to the top because they realized the danger here. And they said that eventually Chromie will have to turn in, so they're trying to make that play right now. Chromie is facing off against Greymane here up at the top. Hazops is also there, and that could be the end of Antihero.
Strafe.
He's going to die to the strafe. That's the kill. 8 gems lost. BKB again cannot turn in, and we have another web weaver for Team Liquid.
Darkwalk thinking about a fight, but with the Ario coming around the corner, gonna play it safe and pull away. 16 around the corner, Webweaver's pushing in, and they have 2 forts, easy to pick.
Great objective control by Team Liquid. They really use the advantages that they have from poking to get always a bit of a lead in the objective. They rotated around ETC. They switched out the interrupt hero several times to allow other players to move to the turn-in point, and eventually they get it. The good guys tried to react by setting a trap with Greymane, but Liquid picked up on it, sent Bala together with Chromie top, and that even resulted in the first kill of the game. So right now, Liquid is just trying to out-rotate and out-macro their opponents, and that means they will aim for the first keep here to put constant pressure onto the top lane.
Yep, constantly pushing up here. Team Good Guys are desired to come up here to clear out the Web Weaver. They will do so. Team Liquid keeps shelling away. Nothing quite hitting here, but this is about time for the Web Weaver in the middle and the bottom to keep pushing in. Hasn't gotten too far forward yet, but the keep wall finally starts taking some damage. Nurok will help out where he can. Looking for some poke on Zay, who has cleared out the wave pretty quickly.
Yeah, and the bot lane is also, of course, now pushing in. The level 16 talent has dropped for Liquid already as is. The walls are starting to fall, and they take that lead in experience, but they can't really get these keeps yet. They're trying to. They're not successful with it. So once again, BKB trying and create some space. Bot lane is being attacked right now, and yes, the wall is nearly gone, but one tower still remains, and we see a similar picture here in the middle. Hazops at least turns around, gets a fast and final shot in against the gate itself so that they have a bit more vision of what happens behind. And we still don't have Chromie completing her level 1. Currently nearly 58 stacks right now. So another 22, and then we're going to see that damage increase on her.
Getting closer and closer. Team Good Guys, despite losing out in the objective control the last 3 turn-ins, are still in a solid spot. They have 91 gems available, and they still have their keeps. But again, the struggle bus they've been on. Can we get this Web Weaver completely utilized? Can we go for the turn-in? They have yet to do so.
Yeah, and also with 16 now, Memento Morio, of course, is a thing. Good hits from Chromie. Nurok over and over, making the plays here. Kronos has 15 now. 15 nearly would complete that turn-in, so they don't actually have to... This is the thing. They don't actually have to rely on BKB alone anymore. There's more, but in this case, Tormented Souls are coming in as we see him jump straight into the backline. Malfgard now with the Divine Shield as he tries to go in. Blumby is low on the other hand. The heals are there, and the immediate stim drone on Antihero. But both teams, again, moving away. No kills yet, but BKB needs to be careful. Quite low here as he barely slides out.
See how Team Liquid keeps chasing here? With Raid Boss being low on energy, they know that Morales will get that energy back soon, but they can keep pushing in. They can make sure that Good Guys walk away from this area, and Team Good Guys do that as they need to buy some time. Darkmok does see on the top side that there is a turn-in about to happen. We're going to see if Team Good Guys can try and sneak here.
Yeah, this time they're going to get it. Now they're going to get the turn-in, and Liquid also, they know it. So the blue Web Weavers are finally descending. The camp to the right side has at least been started. That is going to relieve pressure from the mid lane. So the night camp is taken now. And besides that, we have still 65 stacks on Chromie, 15 that Nurok needs to get that power spike. And of course, fast forward on the side of Nurok has really helped with them as well. We have the 20s coming in soon for Chromie. A few more experience points. And shots fired again. Bam. Straight into the face of ETC.
Fast forward is a bit different here from a lot of Chromie builds. If Sandblast travels at least 75% of its base distance and it hits a hero, the cooldown is reduced. Looking to snipe from afar. And it makes sense when he's not in danger, never getting picked off. Wanting to make sure that he shells out those Sandblasts as much as possible. And you're seeing it right now. Fast forward is just hitting constantly.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of value out of the talent, the way he's positioning in particular. So right now, Web Weavers in the bot lane or in the top are already defeated, the one in the middle as well, and the bot lane has already lost the fort. This is why the good guys are focusing their attention to the mid lane itself. BKB has 60 stacks right now, 60 gems, and if he falls, if they lose those, that would be a disaster for them. And the entire time, it's just shot after shot that is being fired here, and Chromio, of course, has now also taken her level 20.
Darkmark has found a flank. He's charging on and can jump in. Antihero goes in for the fight. Corruption being utilized. Darkmark is low. Tormented Soul's being popped. Where's the Divine Shield? There it is. Gul'dan being killed off. And this is going to be death for Team Good Guys.
Yeah, BKB, they try to keep him alive, but there comes Johanna.
No.
Oriel is dead. The 60 gems are down and they lose them. Nobody can pick them up. Team Liquid moves into the mid lane. The Web Weaver is still at the bottom, but now a Keep is directly attacked. They're going to try and go for the core here.
They're breaking it down. With Vala and Bronze Talons here, they can do so. Pushing in 30 seconds before we have ETC back on the field or Ariel with the Aegis. With only a Greymane here for defense. Team Liquid need to control him. They do so. They even get the kill. And Team Liquid goes for the core.
Yeah. Nurok never completed his level 1 talent, 72 stacks for him right now, but he had a huge impact on this victory. Massive damage output by him, 60,000, and they go for that 3-0. 50% on the core as they move in. Gul'dan is back, and he has Horrify, but doesn't even move in. They accepted their fate at this point. This is the end as Team Liquid takes this series without dropping a single map.
Team Liquid with the 3-0. A beautiful display of control around the turn-ins, using the slowing sands, Blumby in the front line, constantly poking where they can, making the call to go for the coordinated controls for the turn-ins, the top side, getting a couple of Web Weavers moving in. Love the play here from Team Liquid. Good guys tried to hang in there as much as possible, but eventually you just fold when you get pushed down that far.
It was fantastic objective control for sure, and a really well-drafted composition that allowed them to go for interrupts constantly. And this not only means that Team Liquid is now 100% guaranteed to be in the playoffs, but it also helps them to really make a jump forward in the playoff standings, because the way we play our ladder system in the playoffs means the higher up you are, the less games you have to play to try and fight for the last remaining spot at BlizzCon.
Yep, 6th seed plays against a 5th seed against a 4th. Winner of that continues to go all the way up toward that 3rd spot, which again gives us that 3rd slot. And that's going to be happening in a couple weeks. I am very excited for it. Still, we have a week and a day actually, for our teams to figure out where they'll be in the standings. But we're getting closer and closer. BlizzCon's right around the corner. I was saying it 2 weeks ago, but I'm saying it more here. I'm just getting more excited. I'm having dreams about BlizzCon, man. The crowd's there, the stages, I love it.
BlizzCon is going to be awesome. That event is definitely the highlight of the year every single time for every Blizzard game. Heroes of the Storm last year was absolutely fantastic. Like thousands of people just sitting there and cheering as MVP Black and Fnatic were playing, for example. That was just absolutely bonkers. Like, not only were there no seats left, people were standing everywhere, like in every single aisle, and you have the people coming in and security and saying, yeah, you need to move on, you need to move on, and like in the whole back. It's just so amazing. The atmosphere over there is a dream.
That it is. And the best part, too, is that MP Black is the best right now in Korea. Fnatic is the best here in Europe. And we couldn't have written it better. The sequel of what happened last year in 2017 is getting ready to come to an explosive conclusion.
And also, when we looked at the Eastern Clash, Black actually not winning the tournament, and then Rich saying, yeah, I need to improve. I didn't play well enough. I need to make sure that I play better here. And now they are currently just absolutely dominating Korea again. Have still to play versus level 5, but that's something that we're going to see soon. And overall, that battle between the regions is, of course, what makes these international tournaments so awesome.
That was my favorite part about the Eastern Clash, because we went on Friday, and Envy Black was just cocky. They were so ready for the weekend. They were talking smack on a lot of teams, saying, you know what, we're the best here. We're going to shut them down. We're going to style on them. Illidan's the best hero in the game. And then by Saturday, attitude changed completely, which is good. That kick in the butt needed to come at that time.
We need to be confident heading into a tournament.
Yeah,
and
totally.
They are known for it. So at this point, you're just trying to posture a bit as well. Just show everybody is like, come at us. And everybody actually said it. Like L5, Tempest, they all said, yeah, Black is going to take that easily. But then they had a lot more trouble than it seemed. Now, of course, it's a new patch, it's a new time, and Black looks dominant. But in Europe, so does Fnatic. And Team Liquid wants to be one of the teams that makes it to the HGC finals at BlizzCon. And today they made a big step towards that goal. They're looking stronger again. Again, they played against the last team in the league, but still it was a solid performance. Very good performance by them.
Well, speaking of Team Liquid, we have Blumby here, who just got a victory as they take on a big win against the good guys. Now, Blumby, welcome to the HGC. And I feel like you have to deal with this question every week from us, but I got to ask you, how's the pulse of the team?
I don't know. We are pretty happy with the win today, I guess. It was a 3-0, and we expected to win this matchup. It was a bit more convincingly than we thought, I guess. We, you know, we used to struggle usually The second map, though, was pretty close. We misplayed the early a lot. We said play for our power spikes, play for 13, play for 16, play for the late game or mid game. And we still went to our easy twice, and they punished us really well. So also shout out to them. Like, I think they will go to the Crucible 100%, but I'm still I want to give a shout out to them as well. They played pretty well, especially on the second map, and I think they will do fine in the Crucible as well.
Okay, so standings aside, where do you think your team right now is in the top 8 of the HGC?
Oh,
that's a hard question. Yeah.
It depends on the understanding of the patch that the playoffs will be played on. It depends on so much stuff that can determine, who gets the third slot. And I don't really want to say anything about that. Like, I have no idea.
Totally fair.
Anyone in the top 6 can make it into the third slot, like into BlizzCon.
Good enough answer for me. Over to Caldor.
So first of all, congratulations, you guys played well today. And to you in particular, how good did it feel to get that face melt against 3 heroes on Cursed and push them into the Boston?
I don't know. I saw the opportunity and I saw the boss will follow up. Like, boss always doing a great job with the follow-ups. So I thought, I don't know. It felt very, very, felt so good. I don't know. It's a long time that I had such a good face melt.
It was pretty amazing. I have one question though. We talked a lot about this weekend and about the new patch, and the one thing that Tim and I have been discussing a lot is Leoric. How do you feel about Leoric right now, especially when we're looking at his 13 and his 16 synergy? Where do you guys think he stands right now? How high do you feel he's going to jump in drafts, and what kind of impact does the hero currently have on team fights later on in the game?
I mean, the hero is very, very strong, as you figured already. The thing is, I think there will be counters coming up to that hero. As you saw, like, a lot of teams are trying to play double reset against him. Like Greymane, Liming, Genji, all these heroes that if you kill the Leoric, you will get the resets and try to kill the whole team. But, I think with time, there are more and more counters coming up and more stuff to deal with him. So I think he will be a very, very early pick, but I think there will also be counters that are coming up, but teams are still figuring out what exactly is really good versus him.
What would you say outside of that reset strategy that you just said, where you try and focus him to get those resets, would be a good idea to at least try against Leoric?
So, for example, what I think, the 4-second duration of the, damage reduction is 50% of him. You can negate that, for example, with the Sanctification, a well-placed Sanctification. Of course, the trading cooldown is not too bad, like not too good for the drill. Like, trading such a high cooldown for just that Leoric E is kind of ridiculous, but still, if you get the reset with that Sank, then you can actually clean up the whole team fight, and then I think that's, for example, a fine comp, just pairing a turret with Sank to it, that if Leoric E's in. Then also, what's hard for him to deal with is a 7-sided Monk, I think. When he E's too aggressively, every time he can get punished by Monk, because like basically every percent damage doesn't care. 50% reduction, it doesn't apply to percent damage, so percent damage is the other thing that will really shine against Leoric. So I expect also Tychus to come up a bit more in the current patch.
All right, awesome. Thank you very much.
More Tychus. Hope to see more of that guy. All right, man. Well, you had a good win today, but tomorrow you face off against Dingtoss, so we're going to let you go so you get some sleep and get ready for that match. But before I let you go, shout-outs are always yours.
Thank you. So I have actually a special shout-out today. My friend David is getting married today, so Julia and David, I wish you all the best. I unfortunately couldn't be there today. I was busy winning some HGC matches, but I hope you at least got my present. I wish you all the best for your future, and hope you're having a great time right now and a nice celebration.
Wow, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you, Blumby. Huge victory here for Team Liquid. What a wholesome shout out today.
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. All right. Well, hopefully the marriage goes well. Congratulations. I hope you get that present. Blumby, of course, has a good taste. He's definitely got you something pretty awesome. So today's matches were pretty fun.
It's a coffee maker.
It's a coffee maker. What was the surprising match for you today that really excited you?
Not really a surprising match, just the way that the games went overall. I said already on Friday, I'm excited to see how the new patch comes in, how Leoric is going to play. I love what Blumby just said about how he feels there are certain counters with the percentage damage. The Sanctification idea is definitely a good one, but as he said, you trade a very high cooldown for low cooldown, and after level 16, it's basically like no cooldown, so you have to make that one really work. So for me, the most exciting one today was really just see how the priority shifts, how the playstyle shifts, how the teams are adapting to it, and what the thought process are behind it. And I thought that was already pretty cool. The other thing that I thought stood out was the role swap on the side of the Ducks. That was pretty
Sport Billy.
exceptionally well for them. So I'm pretty impressed by it, and I want to see how they can deal with Fnatic, even if they don't win. Just seeing how they can measure up against Fnatic now with a role swap, that is going to tell us a lot for a potential Crucible game or for playoff matches.
That'll be a fun test. Breeze versus Sport Billy. Whew, it's going to be a good one. Let's go and look at the standings here and check